Welcome to another wedding planning tips episode. Today, we're sharing creative, not cheap, but creative ways to save money on your wedding because every dollar counts. Let's get started. Tip number 1. Skip a full wedding invitation suite. Instead of doing a full wedding suite, you can send out a simple save-the-date stationery and include your wedding website or digital wedding invitation where your guests can get notified and you can track RSVPs much easier. Tip number 2. Friday or Sunday wedding. Instead of doing a traditional Saturday wedding, consider a Friday night or even a Sunday brunch. This will save you more money than you think. And no, it won't be as tacky as you think. Check out the full article linked in the description below to read more about tips and tricks on how to pull this off. Tip number 3. Sign up for trunk shows and sample sales. Looking to save serious bucks on your wedding dress? Sign up for trunk shows and sample sales. The best way to do this is try on the dresses before the actual trunk show. This way, you know exactly what you're hunting for. Tip number 4. Hire a day of wedding coordinator or help. Okay, so this is obviously up for discussion. You might think that this is a spend and not a save, but hear us out here. If you're not hiring a full day of wedding coordinator, at least consider hiring a day of assistant or help. Do not underestimate the work needed to be done on the day of your wedding. In the end, having someone execute your ideas correctly and flawlessly is better, rather than your plans and vision not being executed and utilized. Especially if you have DIY'd many things for your wedding. You don't want all those efforts to go to waste, and trusting those details to an experienced professional will make it all worth it. Tip number 5. Rent them. Considering skipping the flowers and doing an all-candle spread, they're gorgeous, but they can also add up and become pretty pricey. But the good news is you can rent flameless versions of them. Tip number 6. Stick to bar basics. Just because you want to save money doesn't mean you have to skimp on the bar completely. You can creatively navigate around saving money by choosing your top 4 to 5 drink choices only. Tip number 7. Same venue for the ceremony and the reception. You will save extra money if your ceremony, cocktail, and reception will be held in one location only. You get to utilize your wedding venue creatively and strategically so you won't have to spend money or rent from other places. Having everything in one location utilizes the venue staff, the tables, the chairs, and all other existing products. Tip number 8. Make the most out of your photographer's time. Deciding to have your ceremony and reception in one venue, as we mentioned earlier, will save lots of travel and prep time. This means if you're going to be only in one venue the whole day, your photographer will be able to get more shots and be always around you. No travel time. Suppose you can have your makeup done at the same venue as well, the better. Everything in one place will save you tons of time and money. Tip number 9. Stick to one flower variety. Sticking to one flower variety will significantly bring down the cost of your bouquet and other flower arrangements. Tip number 10. Let them eat cake or not. If you have a full meal planned and it already includes dessert, you really don't need to get a huge cake unless of course you really want to. To save some money, you can get a regular round vanilla cake from your local bakery and ask for extra flower stems from your florist, or you can also buy them off the grocery the day before. You can then stick those beautiful flower blooms right around the cake. And there you go! Voila! A gorgeous cake! Tip number 11. No individual printing. Instead of individual printing from menus or programs, consider charts instead. You can have a big welcome ceremony program, 2 menu printouts per table, and a bar sign. This minimizes extra printouts. Not only does it save you money, but it is also eco-friendly. Tip number 12, easy on the gifts. A few budget-friendly ideas are tea bags, individually wrapped cookies, coffee grinds, or something similar and edible. These are super easy favors. Bag them and add a simple and elegant pre-made thank you sticker. Tip number 13, creative buffet. If you're not a big fan of buffets, which we of course don't blame you, we can still be creative and do a family-style serving instead. This might not be a major cut, but it will cut on the service and plating time, saving on labor costs. Choose food options that are easy to prepare and do not require a lot of maintenance. Tip number 14, consider buying out a restaurant. This works best if you're planning a breakfast or a luncheon wedding or even a non-weekend wedding. Restaurants will be more than happy to host you on non-busy days. Some restaurants also already have an in-house band and sound system that your DJ or you can easily plug into. Tip number 15, creatively limit your guests. This one is pretty hard to do, we get it. Not only is it hard to do, but it's also hard to come up with a reason why so-and-so is not invited. We, however, have a trick that will help you. Find a small venue or book out a restaurant, as we mentioned earlier, that will only fit your small guest list. From there, you can tell that one of your family members gifted you the venue, or you have contacts in-house that offered great prices and that you would like to take advantage of. This way, you can actually limit your guest list without feeling guilty. Tip number 16, DIY wisely. We are a big fan of smart DIY projects, but it is always good to point out that you still should never underestimate the labor needed on your actual wedding day to execute and put in place your DIY plans. Choose and limit the DIY projects. Evaluate if it will turn out to be much more cost-effective to hire someone to do it instead of doing it yourself. Tip number 17, consider having a backyard wedding. If you have already cut down your guest list, then this might be a great option for you. When doing your budget and comparing it to a venue, always consider the amount you will spend on cleaning and prepping and the post-event cleaning needed, because this will all easily add up. Make sure to compare all the costs involved before and after. Tip number 18, Airbnb is your friend. One thing you can skip is booking hotel blocks. It might seem like a really great idea if you have a good deal, so you can definitely compare the pricing and convenience. Overall, renting an Airbnb might be good for you if you have lots of family from out of town coming together for the wedding. If you have rented a house big enough and have everyone over anyway, it can be a great space for a rehearsal dinner as well. Double duty. Tip number 19, consider a brunch wedding, because why not pancakes and mimosas? If you are looking for a more relaxed vibe, then a brunch wedding is great for you. Brunch menus have a more affordable price, which is a creative way to save money on your wedding. Are you worried you can't party much during a brunch wedding? Well, read our full article as we share how you can pull off an epic party during your brunch wedding. Tip number 20, transportation. You can still rent a car, but you can skip out on the limos. You can rent a nice white car and embellish it with artificial flowers. Also, there's always Uber. You can Uber a high-end vehicle to take you around. Also great for photos. Tip number 21, consider pre-arranged or pre-bundled floral arrangements. Consider purchasing things with little to no customization needed. There are many pre-arranged and a la carte wedding flowers that will be a more affordable and budget-friendly option. There you are, lovelies, our top 21 creative ways to save money on your wedding. The full article is linked in the description below, so you can go ahead and read more details. Thanks for tuning in, lovelies. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Until next time, have a great day. Bye.